Morning soap, folks. Now, when I have soap this morning, it's a Barbus shaving cream. This one here is going to be, I guess you might say, maybe a barbershop scent. It's got a light powder scent to it. It's not overwhelming by any means, if that concerns you, but it's a nice, pleasant scent. Got it whipped up down here in the bowl, but I also went ahead and picked up the aftershave that goes right along with it. And excuse me. Here's what it looks like here in the bowl. It didn't take very long at all to get it whipped up. There we go. You can see that. Got it whipped up here with a Yaqi brush. Now this particular handle is an older handle, so you'll probably have to go to the buy sell trade if you're interested in looking for one that looks like this one here. Not quite the barber pole, in other words, with the spiral lines going through it, but it comes pretty close to looking like a barbershop type handle. At least to me it does. Blade of the day. It's going to be the Personna X series here, and it's the full blade because I'm using the DE today. That's what the box looks like. So this is a 100 pack, as you can tell right here. So the box is somewhat smaller than maybe what you're accustomed to seeing. And I'll try to remember to make sure I got Chris's video down below when he uses the Muhle R41 Twist. And we had talked about it briefly, and I've been looking at this particular shaver for quite some time. I have the R89 Twist, and I guess you might say wanted to go ahead and finish out the matching set, if you will. And it looks pretty nice. It's two-piece in design. It weighs just over 3 ounces, and it is just over 4 inches in length. Pretty nice little setup here. So the guess you might say, of course, this is hollow, and it has you can feel the weight down here at the end to kind of help give it some balance there. I'm going to go ahead and already put a hot towel to the face this morning, and we'll get started with the Phoenix Artisan Accoutrements pre-shave soap, the Christmas cube. But this whipped up really quick. It didn't take very long at all. Oh, the knot in this brush, I think it's a 24 millimeter. I think that's pretty much a standard size. But this particular knot, it looks bigger. Like I say, this is early on when I got this particular brush, and that knot looks a little bigger than 24. I wonder if it's a 25 millimeter. Sometimes those sort of things happen from time to time, but Yaqi was pretty standard in what they're offering in the way of knot size and whatnot. Not. Also have 2 days worth of growth. Did not shave yesterday. Day being Sunday, did not shave on Saturday. So this will be probably one of the few videos that you'll see with 2 days worth of growth or more. Typically, I'm a daily shaver, so you don't see very many videos with more than 1 day's worth of growth. Which you can kind of tell there's more than 1 day's worth there. With more than 1 day's worth of growth, sometimes it's the pre-shave soap lathers up pretty good. I mean, I'm already starting to work up a pretty good lather and haven't even put the shaving cream on there. Should mention that when you go to the website, and I've got a link down below, excuse me, bursting. When you go to buy the shaving cream, it comes in a packs of 2, as well as the aftershave. I can just pick up the scent, I mean, with my nose. And this is my nose, and my nose is not the best in the world, but I can pick it up as I'm putting the lather on my face, which is pretty good for my nose. Typically, not always, depends on how well my nose is working, but yep, there we go. The picking up a scent from shaving cream sometimes is problematic for my nose, and I can't tell you why. I mean, I can smell it, straight off, the container or while I'm lathering it up, but then when I put it on my face, for some reason, I have a hard time picking up the scent. That's just my nose. I think it has a lot to do with what's going on with the weather. Sometimes it has a serious effect on my nose and how well I smell. Now, if you're unfamiliar with an R41, some of the older videos will probably show the older style, if you will, and it's changed since then. So the cap, the head, I should say, is not quite as aggressive as it used to be. For me, it's quite possible to get a smooth, comfortable shave. You just have to figure out what blade works best for you. And then from there, you're talking about pressure, angle, all that sort of thing. But it works well for me. I enjoy using the R41. It's not quite the beast that it used to be, I guess. At least for me, I haven't used the old one, the older version, so I don't know how aggressive it was. I mean, there is a blade feel with this, don't get me wrong, but it is quite possible to get a smooth and comfortable shave with an R41. The twist does make a nice being a two-piece if that's one of the things you look forward to. And plus, with the handle being as big as it is, if you're a guy that's got bigger hands and need a bigger handle, this one here will fit pretty well, I would think. I don't think anybody's ever accused an R41 of not being efficient. I haven't heard anybody say that it wasn't. It takes down 2 days worth of growth without a problem. Definitely could, if you're very familiar with your beard growth and whatnot, quite possible that you could end up with a 2-pass shave instead of 3. And have very little or nothing left on your face in the way of whiskers. It's fun to shave with it for me. It's got just enough blade feel there to let you know that it's an R41, but I don't feel like it's over the top. I have shaved with some that have been what I would consider over the top. A lot of blade feel for a DE. I don't know. I think it really just depends on where your mindset is at, whether if somebody's just starting out, whether a R41 is a good razor to kind of sort of start with. It just really depends on, I think, your determination to master the R41. I know when I got it, I was very excited to give it a try. Matter of fact, my the only outside of this one here, R41, in other words, with rose gold handle, was the only one I was wanting to get. It was already one that I had in my mind that, in other words, I was going to keep. I was going to get used to it. I was going to figure out how to use it. I was quite determined. And to be honest with you, I found that it wasn't that tough to do, at least not with the technique that I've been using for a while. Going along with the gentle pressure. And plus I felt like, for me, I started out with a good blade. A blade that usually, in other words, well, whatever shaver I put it in works well for me. Now, there's some other blades that come from Germany that doesn't work well for me. I'll put it that way. So you don't see a whole lot of those being used. And I have to say, I think it was Merkur. I think I did find a shaver one time where the blade worked well for me. But in other cases, yeah, it was not so much. It did have me thinking that, especially for the price, for the money that you pay for those kind of blades, it definitely had me looking for a different blade. But it's your mileage may vary. There's not a whole lot left. it's pretty nice to be able to shave, knock down a considerable amount of your beard within the first pass and not much of anything left on the second pass. It's working out pretty well, this shaving cream. Scent's still there. Like I say, even for my nose, that's pretty good. Because some shaving creams, by the third pass, I'm not even picking it up. But it's probably a good thing, because I don't know, most people, not all, don't want a strong powdery or talc smell or scent to their shaving soap or cream. For me, it works just fine. It can be strong. I enjoy it. At least I know my nose is working. I can smell something. Just a little bit of feedback on the Instagram pass. Yes, very nice Sunday shave, that's for sure. Almost got it all done. Just one more rinse. Before I forget, go ahead and show you how this works. Like I say, it's a two-piece design. Your knob's on the bottom. It stays pretty tight or firm or snug throughout the shave. I don't notice it trying to loosen up on me or anything like that. So the post there, that's what it looks there on the inside. That's all the longer the post is, so there's not a whole lot of twisting to it. And if you're wondering what the blade looks like, there we go. There's the blade right there. I notice on some two-piece designs, sometimes it seems like, not that I have that many, but it seems like it depends on the cap. In other words, some of those posts are kind of long. And for me, I guess you might say I appreciate it because it makes it a little bit easier if you're going to use a washer or a razor saver. In other words, underneath the three-piece design, they have a little bit longer post, and it seems like it, I guess you might say, snugs up better. I have less of a concern about it trying to strip out on me over the years because it's got a longer post and goes further down in the handle. Just a thought. Especially if you've used any of the vintage Gillette. How can you say the post is sometimes just a bit wobbly in the handle, not a very tight tolerance. And of course, you have to keep in mind what technology was even available back then to do such a thing. Thinking probably a longer post probably would have benefited a bit to keep that from stripping out. Base feels good. Post shave. There's still residual selectness, in other words, and it still feels moisturized. It doesn't feel dried out or anything quite like that. First time me using this shaving cream, in other words, I do give it a little bit of thought of all the things that occur throughout the shave that kind of stands out to me. For one, it lathered up pretty darn quick. And of course, yes, it may have something to do with the brush, but wow, that's pretty good for an R41. 2 days worth of growth, and I have very little stinging. I guess you might say a good testament to the to the slickness of the shaving cream. Just very little stinging. I got just a little bit right down here. That's it. That's pretty good for an R41. I don't get a whole lot of stinging with an R41. Like I say, reading the instructions, if I remember, gentle pressure, I think, excuse me, it was the words that they used. Excuse me. It is something to keep in mind with a shaver like this. I think if you put a little bit too much pressure, you're probably going to end up with a wee bit more stinging. Just a wee bit. I'll have a shave coming up in the near future. Ordered some tangerine from Stirling, and when I do that particular shave, I'm going to try to remember and show the sample of the coffee that was sent to me, which is pretty nice. I've been debating whether to order some coffee from Stirling or not, and I think here pretty soon I think I might give it a go. Thinking sometime this month. What this cap looks like, I know I might be one of the few that kind of thinks about these things or even matters to some folks, but to me, there's the cap. That's what it looks like on the inside, and I don't know if you can see with the light in the center, right through here, right through that center right there. There's a post that comes down through the top of the cap. Boy, my throat's terrible this morning. And what it does is it goes right down into that restrictor. And for me, that's a how you say, a selling point. It's something that I appreciate because it helps keep the stuff inside the container as well as keeping it what you might consider fresh. In other words, not spoiling on you over the many days or months or whatever that this might last you. You know, I didn't even think to see what size this is. 60 milliliters, and I'm not real sure what that figures out in the way of ounces. I don't know if that's like 1.7 ounces, maybe, I'm not sure. See, yeah, I'm not real sure. That restrictor is not real big, so a whole lot's not going to come out at one time on you. It also has the same scent that the shaving cream does. One of the things that if I remember right on the ingredients that it does mention is that it does have glycerin, which is a good thing in that aftershave. So just one of those things that kind of popped out in my mind. This bottle, as you can tell, this container is little. My eyes are old and that tiny print. Sometimes it takes a moment or two for me to pick up on what's on the side. Just a really nice shave. This, like I say, these when you order them, you'll buy them in pairs, and so I'm keeping. In other words, of course, this set for me, and the other set's going to my dad. So, matter of fact, today is his birthday, and happy birthday, Dad. I'll talk to you later on today, let you know what's going on. But just a really nice shave this morning. Hope everybody's doing well on this Sunday. Stay safe, stay healthy, and smooth shaves to you.